Hello, loyal viewers. Hello, loyal listeners. Welcome to Brass Bandcast. This is the podcast about love, life, music, banding, food, drink, and intonation. Great to have you here. Robin, how are you?
I am good. Left rehearsal early tonight. I was very naughty. Had to get home to the kids. And I'm getting messages that apparently they ran the whole program before Nationals and so I wasn't there. So I left my poor number 2 in the lurch. I feel very bad for him. Other than that, I'm good. How are you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I've just been at another rehearsal. I'm in the Footscray storeroom again because rehearsal
again. That's
finishes at
3
9:30.
podcasts in a row we've recorded from the Footscray storeroom and not from our beautiful studio.
I know the Brass Bandcast studio has been just like left abandoned the past couple of weeks. So I have to get back there sometime soon. And this evening we're joined by Jade. Hello, Jade. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have someone from South Australia.
Not sure if I said something more interesting than this.
Oh, no.
This is interesting.
We love interesting people. We get too many of, the people on the top. We need more of the average guy, man, lady.
Yeah,
person.
the mundanity. I'm here to bring the mundanity.
I know. We need some more unique perspectives. Because you know what? Other conductors are probably not listening to our podcast. It's the normal people. We're the podcast of the people, right? The band people.
Yeah, we want this podcast to be about people who play in bands all over Australia. And the last couple of weeks we've been sort of quite brass band heavy.
So brass band.
It's great to have someone from a concert band and someone who's not in Victoria. And Jade, you play the flute with the Unley Concert Band, right?
That's right. I don't know if that's right. Been with the Unley Concert Band for, I want to say 17 years now.
17
That's so long.
years. Wow.
Wait, so since before 2000, oh no, my maths is 2003?
2007.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's really bad maths. I can't.
It's okay.
Well, that's a long time.
I'm here for you.
That's awesome. Have they given you a badge or something? Have you got a life membership?
No, not life membership. I think you have to be a little bit more important for that. But I have a 15-year badge, and actually, I'm an awards coordinator. So basically, next time I get my next badge, I'll be giving it to myself.
Give it to yourself.
Yeah, can we nominate you? Can we nominate you for life membership of Unley Concert Band for 17 years of fine flaunting?
I think of the current life members, and I don't think I'm quite up to scratch, to be honest. But maybe one day.
How many people play in Unley Concert Band? Yeah.
Oh, ask Tim's question. Sorry, we talk over each other when we're on Zoom. I was going to say how many people have been there longer than 17 years. That's a better question than Tim's question.
Well, there's maybe 2 members that have been there since the band started. So that, I don't know, 26 years now.
Ooh.
And then varying degrees. All the people that were in the band when I joined are still in the band. So some long haul members there. And at the moment, I reckon we've got about, don't quote me on this, but 45, at least 45 for nationals. But literally don't quote me because I never count anybody.
45
yeah, they come and go, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's fun. 46. Yeah, so it's much bigger than a brass band. And you don't play a brass instrument. What's that like?
Not at all. What's that like?
The flute. I don't know.
Well, I guess stamina-wise, apparently it's better. I don't know. Let's just say that we can still keep going after all the brassies are chopped. So
yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice.
Woodwind stamina.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Jade, how did the flute come to you, or how did you come to the flute? What the origin story?
So this is a long time ago, but when I was 5, my brother wanted to learn an instrument and he wanted to learn clarinet, but the clarinet teacher said that he was too young and he was around 8 at the time. And the only teacher that would take him in was the flute teacher. And then obviously sibling rivalry, I was supremely jealous and basically begged to be able to play. And my brother, he's always been the same, bit competitive, but also a little bit of he likes to place bets and things. So he said, if you can get a proper sound out of this head joint in a week, then surely I'll make sure that you can play. He's 8. He has no control over whether my parents would pay for lessons or not. But I did, and somehow I think it was completely unrelated that they let me. But he likes to think that it was thanks to him.
He's such an enabler of you on flute. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Oh, this is the same guy that used to get me to do his like year 10 maths homework when I was in year 7. So there's like really no, it's just siblings. That's just how we are.
Sibling life. And does your brother still play an instrument in a band, or
he does not. He lost a
Mhm.
lot of passion for it in school because he went to a private school and did a music scholarship, and they said that he
Gotcha.
couldn't quit the flute or the piano when he was there, and because of that like pressure, he was like, no, I'm not actually keen anymore. So he stopped in year 12, and I kept going because my mum signed me up for Unley Concert Band.
Yay, Unley.
Yay! Yeah, she's like, I'm not going to lose two of you. I've paid all this money for your instrumental lessons, and one of you's already stopped playing. So I found this ad in the local paper, and you're going to rehearsal on Wednesday.
Wow. So your mum found Unley Concert Band in the newspaper.
Yeah,
That's like, wow.
Because I wasn't going to do music at school, and she's like, well, if you're not going to give it up, you've really given up piano, and you've really given up viola, so you can't give up flute.
Parents get very disappointed when kids give up. I say give up in inverted commas because it's like you get a lot out of music even if you decide not to go into community band. Like kids who learn it in school, go through to year 12, they've obviously, I don't know, developed their brain and learnt about the arts and blah, blah, blah. And there's lots of other things you do ceramics in school and you might not become an artist, and that's not called giving up. But parents get very disappointed. They're like, I paid so much money for your music lessons and you didn't become some musical star. But just getting enjoyment out of it is enough, I think. But it is nice if you can keep going. Yeah. I don't know what they expect, like if you to become a tennis star, but
I was going to say we're really lucky because Jade is actually a musical star and she still has the passion for the flute.
It's great to still have a passion.
Isn't that right, Jade?
Yeah.
Yes, I do definitely.
So it's a success story. And is your mum still proud of you?
Oh, yeah, she still comes to our concerts. I mean, like, she'll hate me like saying this, but she's getting on now, but she still turns up, so that's good. I think she's proud of me. Like, the band is the least. She's glad that I kept it up. I think the band is probably a small portion of why she's proud of me, I hope, considering, the cliche is that the Asian tiger mum, forces you to practice. She was never really like that, but managed to keep our interest alive anyway, maybe just by reminding us how much everything costs, but, happy for the opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember the first time that you played flute in a band?
In a
Remember
band.
Your first rehearsal?
First rehearsal. I remember my first performance in a flute quartet playing fourth part of 22 Little Star on my bendy flute head joint.
Nice.
I know, because I couldn't reach the end of the
How'd it
flute,
go?
so they had to give me the bendy head joint. It was
that curvy
video of it somewhere. Yeah. But as far as band is concerned, I think when I was maybe 7 or 8, I joined the primary school's wind ensemble, which is run by the Department of Education here in South Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the conductor at the time, Carrie Hewitt, is actually playing with Unley for Nationals this year. So some good nostalgic memories for us there. Yes. I even found his recommendation for me for high school recently when I was packing. So I think I still remember you have to audition for that band and how stressful it was being 7 and having to prepare for an audition. And I mean, it wasn't like they weren't harsh or anything, but it's still a different experience altogether when you haven't ever done that before. And it was a great ensemble to be in. I actually met a lot of people I went to high school with eventually, and in that ensemble. So yeah,
lovely.
Well, that sounds amazing. Is that kind of band still running? Do they still do that primary school thing?
I actually don't. I don't know. They also did primary school string orchestra. I don't know if they still run. I would hope that they do. It went for a long time, and there's just like all sorts of people that went through primary school's wind ensemble in South Australia. Like, because you still have the jumper that has everyone's names on it.
Oh,
and
cute.
I remember when Brian Griffiths used to be conductor for a while, we realised that we were both in primary school's wind ensemble at the same time, and his name is on my jumpers.
That's pretty cute.
He's actually the adjudicator for the A grade section. So,
yeah, conflict.
No, they're behind a screen. That's fine.
You won't know who's who.
I'm sure. This is getting off topic, but I'm sure the adjudicator, they can tell which band's which, can't they? Do you reckon, Tim?
You would think
I
so.
reckon they sound so
enough
different. And the comments, it's all a little bit of show,
No,
like standing behind a screen. I can't
anonymous.
see.
It's all anonymous. Trust the
I
process.
all in
Trust the
it, but,
process.
like-
I've seen the screens the adjudicators sit behind
Yeah.
and light doesn't
I
get
know
through.
they can't see out,
Trust the
but, like,
process.
Light doesn't get
My
through.
point is, it
They sit in
seems
the
mean
dark.
to make them
But,
sit
like-
there. They've got to sit there for like 8 hours and like not even look at anything. How boring. Like, just let them look at the band. I'm sure they'll still be impartial. So I'm saying trust their professionalism to like be able to see you and still be impartial, right? And
Yeah,
then they can
but
judge
you
the
see-
uniforms.
Surely you'd hear
Yeah.
soloists that you'd recognize them too. Like
Hmm.
soloists, you'd recognize that. You'd hear you'd recognize the tone and stuff if you're like a professional. I'm not. I don't have the ear for it, but I imagine you'd be able to pick some people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I often think when I
Definitely.
play tuba, gee, I sound really, really good and everyone must know it's me. Is that
In your section of like,
something like that?
yeah.
It's important that you're positive too.
Yeah.
Someone's got to believe
that
in
we're
me.
not doing. Yeah, yeah.
So Jade, you mentioned that you felt it was quite nerve-wracking, I guess, as a 7-year-old sort of preparing for your first thing. Do you still get nervous when you're playing? If you're going on stage nationals, will you
Yeah.
feel nervous or will you feel okay? And is that like an
Nervous every time.
excited, nervous, looking forward to it, or like nervous, can't wait till it's over?
A little bit of both. I actually get really chronic stage fright.
Okay.
I've always had it. When you're a kid, people don't tell you about like beta blockers.
Mhm.
Obviously.
Here it's a thing now. I've never managed to take any, but I can't actually play unaccompanied without wanting to vomit. So generally bands are good for me.
Mm.
Piano accompaniment is good. I once did the Stedford when I was like, I don't know, 14, unaccompanied in the study section, and I felt like I was going to faint the entire time. Apparently people can't tell. Only I can tell, but I know how it feels. So yes, terrified every time. Some of it's adrenaline, some of it's just fear, but you push through.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really great thing about bands is you're playing with other people like almost all the time, and it's so much more fun than just playing by yourself, says the tuba player.
Yeah, agreed.
Oompa.
Well, you don't, yeah. I don't know. I feel like there was some guy in high school that played tuba and he played this a really cool rendition of the Swan for one of his solo performance exercises.
That would have been nice. Did he dress
Yeah.
up as a swan as well? I feel like that would always be the finishing touch for that piece.
Honestly, I never felt disappointed about that performance until now. Now that you mentioned that, I wish I could go back in time and request it, but unfortunately, no, we all had to wear a performance uniform.
So if anyone's listening out there and it has the Swan program coming up, don't forget, you can just like take a pillow apart,
Yeah.
stick the feathers on, there you go. Instant Swan.
It's just tar and feathered before you even have a chance to
Exactly.
perform.
The audience would love it, except for the adjudicators who couldn't see it. So
All right. Are you in the section of the flutes? I don't know that much about the flutes. How many flutes are in the band, and like how do you work together? Because it's like tuning, and they're all very high, aren't they? How does your flute section work?
It is a difficult instrument to tune for sure. We've got a good section this year. At the moment, we have 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and our piccolo player, who I think has the hardest job. I think she'll agree with me. And as far as the structure is concerned, I'm section leader and principal, but I would love to handball some things to one of my first flutes, but she just won't take things off me.
Do you get to sit on the end? Do you sit on the end?
Yes, get to sit on the end.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, featured in a lot of Tim's close-ups, which I feel like he does just to annoy me.
Oh, it's just easy
but
to
you
get
look
the
so
angle,
good
I
on
think.
camera and you sound so good on microphone.
Don't.
I think it's nice because the flute goes the other way. It's a good angle.
Yeah. Yeah, we do need to sit further apart from each other than other parts of the section. Otherwise, we do tend to, swipe each other in the head and hit the backs of chairs and things like that. But all of us are pretty blind. So we have a separate stands. I think a lot of like flute sections, when they're a bit bigger, they tend to share stands. We just can't do that. All of us are like, even the ones that look like they're not blind are wearing contacts. So we need our space. We need our own stands. We do have sectionals, and we've been having lots of woodwind sectionals as well as a bigger group. So we had one on yesterday morning. So yeah, lots of practice, and everyone plays differently. So everyone's tuning is different, which makes it hard for tuning. And then the temperature of the room, as per any other player, is quite challenging.
Is it going to be a heat wave in Adelaide when Nationals is on? Like as a local, what do you reckon?
I really hope not. I hope not. I hope we're getting it out the way now. It's been pretty temperate so far this summer. Now we're into autumn now, at least technically. So I would love for it to not be hot, but, knock on wood, probably will be.
No, I love it. I love the heat.
We'll find out.
Bring it on. whole lot of stinky band
You love
people in
it?
a room.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, we often do Australia Day in Corowa, and it's always like 40 degrees. And it's like the band's now used to the like extreme temperatures. It's like training when you go running in the desert or something.
Altitude
And now
training.
if we ever have to
Heat
play on
training.
stage at like 35 degrees, we'll be able to do it, I reckon. Sweat just dripping down. Yeah. But
So-
no, I'm sure it will be fine.
Jade, I've got another question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever played an instrument other than flute? Have you dabbled? Are you a doubler naturally, or is flute your one and only?
Oh, I
You
started
did
playing
mention
piano.
viola early on,
Yeah, I
so-
played piano I started when I was 7, and I played that until,
Mhm.
maybe 10 years, and I wasn't very good at it. I really don't have the hand span. I have those like, the episode of The Simpsons when they see Stumpiness runs in the father side of the family. That is definitely me. I'm lucky enough that I can play the flute, to be honest. And I did play viola for a bit because they
So
made
you're a
you do it.
piccolo specialist?
Oh, I'm awful at piccolo. It is actually quite a joke in Unley Concert Band how bad I am at piccolo. So I do not touch the instrument. I have one. It needs repair, and I'm leaving it that way for now because it's a great excuse to never have to play it. I'm grateful for my piccolo players throughout the years that have been very willing to take on the piccolo part because it is challenging, and I just frankly suck at it. But
I guess that's the perks of being section leader as well, right? You can
yeah,
just be like, "No,
right. No.
you're going to sound great
No,
on piccolo
but
on this bit. You can play that bit. You can play that bit. I'm going to play this bit."
When they've heard me play piccolo, it's kind of been like a little pitiful, like pitied eyes looking at me, being like, "Put it down now. That's enough." But
you play the nice, pretty solos, the pretty flute solos. Piccolos have to like play all those high bits.
Yeah,
it sounds hard.
Different embouchure, to be honest. I'm sure if I actually cared enough to do it, I would probably be able to practice my way back into it because I did play it when I was a kid, but nowadays I just never really have an opportunity to pick it up, except one time we were playing Carnival of the Animals for an orchestra I was in, and the piccolo player was playing piano, so I had to play the piccolo part. But other than that, no. But I played viola because everyone had to learn a third instrument when I started in high school. Like that was a requirement at our school. And I wanted to play violin, but they promised me viola would be easier, but it was a lie. I could not read alto clef the entire time.
People like that lie to children.
I played viola for 3 years,
Alto
and the
clef.
whole time I didn't even read notes. I'll be like, that spot, this finger. Like, didn't even learn it.
Yeah. Alto clef's a bitch.
I was just like, no, this is
Nobody
not
likes
easier.
it.
And I'm never going to play it in the orchestra. Because
Middle C's like on the line.
Yeah. It was convenient for like year 12 exams, but other than that, there was absolutely no bit of it. Shout out to my high school strings teacher who put up with me never practicing. But other than that, no, I haven't really dabbled in other instruments. I mean, apart from like the odd paradiddle when I've asked like my partner Levi plays percussion. Asked him to like teach me a few things, and then every now and then people will be like, "Oh, try playing this trumpet for fun," and I'll be like, "Okay," but I can't actually play anything except I can get a sound out. That's about it, right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. But maybe there's
start.
a future for you in like playing paradiddles in a percussion section. So I can imagine that.
Do some vibes.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I already had to stay back until the end with all the percussion stuff. I feel like that's enough. Leave it to the professionals to play all the difficult stuff. Maybe crash cymbals. Maybe that's where I'll draw the line.
Crash cymbals. That's pretty fun. So Unley Band loves a good street march, right?
Yes, we do. Ordinarily. I think this year we are...
Ordinarily?
Yeah, this year we're not going to compete.
Oh, it's optional, right?
Well, it is optional.
It was always optional for wind bands.
Yeah.
Where I was going with my question is, I would love to see you play crash cymbals on a march.
Oh my God!
I feel like that'd be totally amazing.
I'm actually not a great marcher. For many years, I worked retail jobs, so I didn't have the capacity to take time off, and now I'm just like not good at it. But it is pretty funny. I think we do the pageants and stuff every year here in South Australia. I don't know if it's such a big thing interstate, but it's here really being like the pageant's huge.
Yep.
But the Credit Union Christmas pageant obviously has like 100,000 or something people come out to watch it.
Can we just pause because I feel like there aren't any pageants anywhere else in all of Australia except for South Australia. So would you mind just explaining what the pageant is like and what it's all about?
I don't even know what you're talking about, this pageant. Yeah, tell me.
Oh, don't come for me on the data because I across the stats.
That's okay. That's
but
okay. Just
in,
impression. What's the
South
impression?
Australia, every year there's Christmas, like basically Christmas parades, and each local community tends to have like all the suburbs around it have a local pageant where like it's just local businesses will have floats, and then like there'll be Father Christmas at the end essentially, and there'll be bands marching and playing for music, and there'll be dances. But the biggest one is the credit union. Well, not credit union anymore. Sorry, is it National Pharmacies now? I don't know. They keep changing the sponsors, but it's a big sponsor. Sorry to the sponsor. I've already forgotten. I think it might be National Pharmacies.
Hello, sponsor. Hello, National Pharmacies.
And they sponsor. It might be the People's Choice Credit Union now. I have no idea.
Okay.
Like I said, sorry guys, but they basically have this huge
money well spent
sponsorship. Adelaide CBD, so they close off the whole, basically most of the CBD, and this pageant goes for, I want to say like 1.5 to 2 hours. It's about a 5 kilometer walk to do the pageant.
So how is it different to a parade? Isn't it just a parade? Why is it a pageant?
Yeah, it is a parade. But it's a Christmas pageant. They just use the term pageant.
Okay.
But it's basically they have these floats that they've had. They have new ones each year, but they've had ones that have been around since it started. So they just refurbish them every year. And you grow up seeing certain ones, and it's televised as well. And you have basically every band that marches in South Australia will participate, including the armed forces, like, Navy band, police band, Army band would all march to. And you'll have like all the dance troops, people dressed as clowns, interacting with the kids. The kids will get there early and draw on the side of the pavement. There's,
it's a big deal.
Tens of thousands of people that turn up.
I rock across to like Mount Gambier some years for their band festival there. And the band festival's like mid-November. And a big feature of the band festival is the Christmas pageant, which happens. So I think it's just...
It's always November. Yeah,
it's November, and it's like feels to me like it's a very South Australian thing.
Yeah,
definitely doesn't happen in Victoria.
Well, we've got Moomba, but it's
and
not.
And they used to sell the DVD,
big,
but now they televise it.
Oh,
televised. Oof,
that's big.
Yes, I know. They re-televise it in the afternoon. If you'll go back and watch it later on too. But yeah, so that's probably the extent of it. Where I was going with that story is I'm so unco at marching. I actually lost one of my march cards partway through, and because it's a 5 kilometer march, you have to play some of these pieces multiple times, and you also have to like repeat a piece when you're going through the TV, the cameras, because there's obviously the big swooping cameras, and they do the close-up, and I was just hoping and relying on my memory to play Jingle Rock for that entire time. So
that's not true.
Right at the end, someone's like, I found this like 2 kilometers back. I'm like, yeah, that's mine.
I've got a story for you about marching, Jade. If you hate playing the piccolo, when I played in a marching band in the US, and we didn't even have flutes. No one was allowed to play flute. They all had to play piccolo. So we had 24 piccolos in the band.
Oh yeah,
and no normal flute. I think they were like, the flutes are too soft, no one will hear them, and everyone just played loud the entire time. But 24 piccolos were just like a sight and sound to behold. I tell you that.
I feel like marching bands in the US are like next level though.
Yeah.
They're just next level in general.
Yeah.
For the most part. Like the really good ones are just like monstrously good. And I could imagine that there's probably a band in America with 24 piccolos and they're playing like perfectly.
Yeah, no, they weren't in tune, but that's okay.
That's impossible. Surely that's impossible.
Not that time. Not in your situation. I'm sure there was one somewhere.
It was, not the main focus of the thing. But they had their little, do you have the, you hold your march card on your wrist? That's so cute. Like, because there's no space on your instrument?
Yes. You have your flutist friend. Yes, your flutist friend. You better hope that's in the right position when you put your arms up. Otherwise, you're stuck with it there until you get a chance to sneakily adjust it.
Hey, Robin. What was the name of the band that you played with?
It was the University of Illinois Marching Illini. It was one of the big ones. It was a Midwestern university band. Yeah. It was awesome fun. It was the best. And then we went to St. Patrick's Day. That was fun too.
With 24 piccolos.
The real important question is, did you wear the hat with the feather in it?
Yeah, I did have it was called a plume. But they only gave them to you, like, you had the hat on, and then like right before you went out, they had a special box. So like you put the feather in,
they don't trust you with the plume.
You did your march, and then as soon as you're off, someone's like snatching them all back. Yeah, well, they were very fluffy. They were very, very special.
I imagine they're not cheap, and I can imagine like most people would either lose or damage them pretty easily. People not used to having an additional foot height on their heads.
Yeah, no, we were not trusted with the plumes for any extra amount of time that was required.
Which bird did the plume come from?
Oh, it was blue. Oh, it was not I think it was quite long. I'm holding up my...
Like an
what's
eagle?
that, like 20 centimetres? It was huge. No,
Surely
but it was
not.
like...
They're fluffy though. They're like
It wasn't a real
Ostrich.
made feather. It was like straight up and it had like...
So loyal listeners,
Artificial
right now
one.
Robin's hand gestures are amazing. And just imagine
I'm just showing you.
stroking a feather
It's
in
like
the air.
fluff.
They're giving fluffy
It's not
vibes.
hard.
Fluffy,
It's got like
fluffy
little
vibes.
bits coming off it. So when you move, it's like billows with the wind. It was quite
So it's got some
magnificent.
flexibility to it.
Yeah. No, but we weren't allowed actually to use music. We had to memorize everything. They'd give you 1 week for the next show and say, memorize all this music in 2 days. And then you had to do the show. It was really full on. I tell you that. Loved it though.
I will say if it's a thumbnail for this episode, I feel like we need to get a picture of Robin wearing said plume to be the
I
thumbnail.
think that's a great idea. Yeah, I was going to suggest as well, maybe it's like some outtakes. We can get like Robin's plume feather hand
Oh,
examples.
I don't have
Upload.
enough.
It looks like she's conducting if you get the
Yeah,
Exactly.
though.
Hooray.
I don't have enough canvas skills. It took me enough to remove the background to get our current. Every time I release an episode, they're like, have you got a new picture for this episode? I'm like, nah, I'll just keep putting the same picture there. Loyal listeners, if you're wondering if everyone else's podcast has different pictures, I did give Tim the login to the free Canva account that I made the thing with, and he added one little thing, but it's not amazing. Our profile picture, is it, Tim? We took it at the
We've
pub.
got very high production.
When we were
very high
convincing-
production standards.
when we were convincing people to come
Yeah,
on
what
our
do you think about
show.
the production value is really there.
Yeah. We've got great high values. We always skip our structure, Tim.
Oh, whoops.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry, Robin.
That's okay. We got excited talking to Jade. Well, how's your week been?
Well, thanks for asking, Robin. It's been good. It's been too hot. It's been too hot.
It has been very hot, hasn't it?
But like I find that if I really do my breathing practice and my air work, I think I can play faster in hot weather because like the speed of sound is faster in a hot room. So like it helps with the fast notes and the articulations.
Does your band room not have good air conditioning? What's going on?
I've got
Let's turn the air conditioner on. We've conquered
No,
nature
that's-
with
that's
air
it.
conditioning. Yeah.
How's your week
know.
been, Robin?
Yep. Okay. In terms of band
Great
life.
structure.
Yeah, I had to go to this first. So Jade, our euphonium player in another band, has broken his arm. So I have now come in 2 weeks before nationals, have to learn all this music for this chart. And I also have to turn his...
Just in time for the sign-on sheet.
I know, it was like, luckily he fell over the day before permits were due. So that was okay. They could put me on. I have to turn his pages, the poor guy. So his left arm's in a sling. He has to hold his euphonium with one hand. And then, so I not only have to play the bits and all his muted, I also have to turn all his pages for him. And I've like got to write on my music to turn his page. And that's quite
It never
stressful.
occurred to me that he could still play with one arm.
Yeah. Well, he can't use his fourth valve, but you could get away with 3 valves. He's still better than me, even with only one hand. So I'm just making sure I turn his pages for him. That's the most important part of my job. It's quite stressful. Well, but we'll all be there together at nationals in 2 weeks, right? No, 2.5 weeks? 2 weeks. Soon. How do you feel having
I
a...
have to check my watch because I have no idea what date it is.
Yeah. Is that enough reflecting, Tim? We didn't have that much reflecting to do we?
That's good reflecting. That's good
Okay.
reflecting.
So, Jade, do you like it when nationals are in your home state advantage, or not really?
It's great not having to travel. It's quite like it's just a logistics thing. It's quite difficult to travel with a band. I mean, you guys all know that, especially with a percussionist.
No.
Just who's taking what and, who's taking the marching drum and what do we need and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely convenient. I'm happy it's in the CBD this year and not out far away. I know that like sometimes, venue constraints mean that it has to be further out, but the Adelaide Union, the Con, is a good location. It's been there. It was there in 2011 and it worked quite well. So, and Elder Hall sounds really good, which is I think where the A grades are.
Especially when Unley's playing in it. It sounds even better.
One can only hope.
Oh, I do have a question for you,
And,
Jade, though. A question.
yeah.
Do you have
Yeah,
any,
go for it.
like, so many bands from all over Australia are going to be going to Adelaide. Do you have any insider tips? Like, how can foreigners to Adelaide come to Adelaide for Easter when things are closed down? What are some, like, 3 do's
Oh,
and
yeah.
a couple of don't do's?
What's the best pub? What's the best pub
The
to
best
go
pub.
after the?
You are asking the absolute wrong person.
Oh, no.
I know. There's quite a few good ones in like Rundle Street, and there's a lot of small. Adelaide kind of has a lot of small wine bars, cocktail bars now, and gin bars. So if you need a big area, your best bet would be anywhere along Rundle Street, like the Stag or the Elephant and stuff like that. If you're after something little, things like Lee Street off Harmony Street and some of those smaller laneways where all the little tiny pop-ups start is probably good idea.
And does Unley
I'm
Concert
not really
Band,
a big drinker, as we know.
Does Unley Concert Band have an after party planned?
Oh, I imagine that they do. I'm not social secretary this year, so I'll leave it in their hands.
You're looking after the awards. That's sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough, right? But I imagine that they'll do something on the Saturday night as usual. If we don't finish too late, it really depends on the scheduling. As you know, like sometimes a great concert finishes really late.
Or starts after midnight.
When it finished after midnight. Yes.
Unforgettable, Jade. Unforgettable.
Everyone can't forget. Like all these poor kids had to go home. They couldn't even listen to the results because they all had to go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing all the results together, aren't they? Don't all the wind bands, they're going to do all the results at the same time. Did you say grade last?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I think they're doing that. Because I know B grade's on quite early, and then they're like in the other hall, and then and then they won't have the results until all the bands are finished, and they're going to do all the results at the same time.
I thought that they would do them separately, but
is this misinformation? It sounds like a misinformation campaign here, Robin. I'm not sure.
Is that a misinformation? I saw it on the list of things.
Oh, it was on Facebook.
I don't know. Oh, am I not supposed to say that in the media? But yeah.
Whoops.
But yeah, it might be late. But it's a bit annoying if it's like late and then you want to go to dinner and you want to celebrate. And anyway, I'm very into the social stuff in case you haven't.
And I'm actually helping out on Kapringa City Concert Band as well in the afternoon in B grade.
Nice.
Same as you, Robin, last minute sign on.
Oh.
Did you break someone's arm?
So I've been to one rehearsal.
Did someone?
Sorry, guys. Oh, no. I didn't break anyone's arm.
Good.
I was lucky enough that they could actually get me on a sign-on sheet as a permit. Actually, the common joke, Janet will kill me for saying this, our president will kill me, but is you get hit by a bus because a very long time ago, Janet said to me, she plays flute as well. She goes, I've been practicing your solo just in case you get hit by a bus. Janet, it's a very specific way for me to not be able to play. Most people would just say in case you get sick or something. I'm like, have you recently obtained a bus license? So since then, getting hit by a bus has been kind of the go-to for reasons why you might not be able to make a concert. So when you said that, your colleague hurt his arm, and I was like, did he get hit by a bus in my head?
No.
But this isn't the case with Onkaparinga. You're in there to help out, and they're lucky that you could sign on. Yeah, good.
So it's actually quite fun to play B grade again. It's been a while, but it's because we're playing some of the pieces that I played when we were in B grade last with Unley.
Don't tell us the pieces. I'm not telling you. Don't tell us the pieces. Can you imagine the outrage online if the pieces were known? Oh my gosh! Oh, they have to stop nationals.
But like you can. Everyone knows the test piece. Yeah, everyone knows the test piece.
Do I remember the test piece name? But
it's called the Compostitella. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Compostella. Something.
Compost.
I don't know. Something like.
I'm sure it's not
something about
it. It's something like that.
It's Thierry. It's Thierry. Thierry Dillary. You know Thierry, Tim. He does all those pieces.
Oh, Thierry.
He's the real new hot thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's my Facebook friend. Hi, Thierry. I don't know how to say your name.
You said you were friends with him and could get him on the podcast. I was like, that's a bit of a tall thing. Yeah, all right. Yeah, can you?
Yeah, probably can. Yeah.
Probably can. Oh, yeah, just get him on. Oh, man. Anyway, well, yeah, B grade is fun.
So some people like to watch, like, the bands on the live stream, and I find quite often that the chat box gets really busy sometimes until and I don't know why this is, until Unley takes the stage. Then it's like there's no one chatting. Do you think that's just a coincidence?
I think that's a coincidence, Tim. I can't confirm or deny the reasons why that happens.
Okay, interesting. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, like it's not like the years that we haven't competed that we've gotten together and actually had a watch party and everyone's been on their phones or anything. Like I can't say whether that's true or not.
Sometimes there's a high volume of chats coming through from like a South Australian IP address, and I'm like, Hello, Unley.
Oh, that just
Sledging every other band but their own.
If we could comment on our own band, we would. Unfortunately, it's a little bit difficult.
While you're playing, just like, ooh, someone missed a solo, a bit of ragdoll and chat. Yes, tap, tap, tap. That would be hilarious.
I wouldn't trust myself to have my phone on the stage because I'm that person that accidentally sets the music off in rehearsals. So
yeah,
let's just
avoid
that.
Alarms and stuff. Oh, yeah, we can't be trusted. Who's practicing out there, Tim? Is someone practicing? Is that Jamie?
Jamie's practicing. I'm giving Jamie a lift home. I said would be done by 10:30.
You gave him one lift home and now he's getting did he say, and he's still there. Poor kid. All right. We're doing pretty well, actually, for time. I won't say how long it is because I might edit some out. I don't think I'll have to edit any of your stuff out, Jade.
Jade is such a good speaker and so interesting. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting.
Okay.
I love hearing unique.
It's a comment about my laundry and tea comment about how fascinating I am because that's like what I do on a public holiday evening.
No comment, but good to know that
no way.
Clean.
We love it. We love it. All right. Well, maybe I'll ask you some of my questions and then
go for it.
And then we'll be done. Okay. If you could play any other instrument, what would it be?
Cello.
And it could be anything like
cello.
Ooh.
Great choice. Great
choice. It's just
choice.
a sexy instrument, is it not?
It sure is.
Yeah, you want to go low. You do a lot of high. You want to go low,
saxophone,
don't you?
Because whenever I see baritone saxophone players, like
they're just hot.
My friend,
they're just hot, right?
I always feel like I feel like they look reliable. Like
they're reliable.
Like, she would be an excellent. I always tell her she'd be an excellent boyfriend and she'd take care of me. That's how I feel when I watch her play pedal notes and like in time and like repeated passages.
It's just so comforting.
I just feel like
right?
it's so reliable. They just keep chugging on. So comforting.
They honk away. Not like a tuba player. They're not as reliable, are they? The tuba.
Never. But I guess if you played the cello,
Gary sax is always there.
If you played the cello, I think the Swan was originally written for the cello. So maybe.
Yes, it was.
There's a future there. Maybe you could wear the feathers.
Yeah. It's on the cards, right? If I ever get enough money to buy a cello.
We can start a GoFundMe.
All right.
GoFundMe for me to dress up in feathers and play the cello. I don't think you'll get many people.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what happens on the internet, Jade. You'd be surprised.
I would be very surprised. But you know what? If it means I get a cello for free, I'd be willing to slap those feathers on. Maybe not super glue, but something water soluble will do.
What are we even talking about? I don't know. Because you've been in your band a long time, do you have any stolen things? Like, is there anything, you've just moved house, correct, Jade? In your packing, have you noticed any things that may belong to actually Unley Band that have been in your possession for too long?
Oh, you got me. Yes, I have found, well, it's not mine, but I found an original percussion part for one of the pieces that probably needs to go back. Just sorry, Levi, to the bus. Sorry, Levi. And
take that back.
I think we also found, I don't know if it's our slapstick or the band slapstick, but we found that.
Slapstick.
Got a couple of Kensington and Norwood uniforms that we don't know if they even use them anymore.
Vintage.
They might have updated their uniforms since then.
Vintage.
Yeah, so they're vintage. So we've got those 2 pairs of pants and a jacket and 2 ties that will need to find their way home if they still wear those, because Levi used to play with them but doesn't anymore. What else did I find? I've actually found an original, Brighton Secondary School, but I found an original copy of one of the pieces I obviously played in high school.
Impressive.
Not Unley Concert Band. I feel like they don't play that anymore. They probably haven't missed it, but sorry nonetheless. And a quintet flute part that might belong to Adelaide University. So maybe I'll leave that there at Nationals.
So
I'm very sorry to whoever used their car to borrow that, because
it could have been expensive. I feel like this question could have been different. It could have been, has there been a band you've played with that you haven't stolen their stuff?
Well, the answer would be no. It'd be a much shorter answer, wouldn't it? I think that's a pretty good record for 9 years of hoarding at my old house. So I think that's
fantastic. We're proud of you.
Probably not too bad. Yeah. Thank you. I feel like setting the bar really low and getting praise for it is just kind of what I'm all about.
Yeah. At least it's not a tuba. Fenella wins that one. That was a whole tuba in her house for 15 years. We struck gold with that. Yeah. An entire tuba. Oh. Well, I was thinking, when I moved house, my sister helped me move house and she was shocked and appalled by how many instruments I had. Like, I was like, I don't know.
it
She's
feels
like,
that
why
way,
do you need
doesn't
three
it?
different guitars? You don't even play the guitar. How many instruments do you reckon you moved from the last house to this house? Because I know we were talking about that.
So I don't actually own that many myself. Like I obviously have flute, piccolo, but we don't speak about that. I have like a fife, which I absolutely cannot play.
A fife?
A recorder,
Ooh.
which I can play half-heartedly.
Yeah.
A couple of Irish tin whistles. So and some wooden flutes. So that's about all I've got. But Levi, we had to move for Levi, obviously his drum kit, and all of his cymbals, hardware. And then like he has some really obscure stuff. Like my parents got him one of those Irish drums when they went to Ireland. He also has like
Bodhran.
Bodhran, that's right. He also has a saxophone, a trumpet, a bass clarinet, a normal clarinet, a key cornet, bass guitar, electric guitar. I think we got rid of the bass guitar actually because it was broken. Electric guitar, acoustic guitar, keyboard, his mixing desk, all of his mics and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of things music things we had to move for him, and he can't even move in that room right now. He's busy trying to like set it up so that he put his shelving back up so he actually has homes for all this. But of course, all the auxiliary percussion because percussionists can't stop, can they?
No.
You see something that makes a noise and they must buy it. At one point, I think we moved a bag that had just two pieces of metal, like a flywheel and something else in it. And his mom was like, why do you have
that?
That
would sound so
they
good.
They sound good,
That
yeah.
would sound so good when you get it.
You don't have any
Exactly
twirly
right.
whirlies? Don't like...
No, but they're actually at the band hall because we made them for Angels in the Architecture many years ago. We played to Kelly, and then other bands borrow them from us. So
hire them out.
So yeah, they're available for hire. No, they're tuned quite well. They're tuned exactly for Angels in the Architecture and nothing else. But yes, they do exist. Levi also made. We did a piece that was by an Australian composer. I'm really sorry, I don't remember his name, but there was like a part for. And I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a stick with bottle caps.
Oh, the lagerphone. Yeah.
Lagerphone. So Levi had to make a lagerphone, and we finally threw out the remainder of the bottle caps that were drilled but not used. But yeah, that lagerphone also, I think, lives at the band hall.
It's an excuse to drink a lot of beer. That's okay. It's just beer caps on a stick.
Yeah, I think they just bought the bottle caps from a brewery supply store.
What?
Because the ones that you
waste.
them, you bend them to open them, right? Like unless you have screw tops, so.
It wrecks the tone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the right.
Couldn't even imagine a lagerphone with bent bottle caps. That would just sound terrible.
Chaotic,
twisties like sinus.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No, it's that composer had it.
If all the caps are the same, if you bought them in a packet, they'd all be the same. There, you need an eclectic lagerphone. I'm imagining this lagerphone looking way too uniform, and I'm disappointed
it looks
with
really
my mental
impressive,
image.
like to the point that it looks like we bought it. But it was definitely just like handmade. It had like a stick to hit it and everything.
I want one of those now.
And it was quite comical. Like I think one of our percussionists didn't come to a couple of rehearsals, and he turned up, and then he was told, "You're playing this thing," and he handed the lagerphone with no context.
Did he come back?
Oh yeah.
Well, that was it.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
He's definitely come back. But I think it should be an appeal, really. Like you get to hit this with a stick, so I feel like percussion's like that kind of thing. That's the whole premise.
Yeah, whack it.
Yeah.
The whacker. All right. Well,
so you guys coming for the whole weekend?
The whole weekend, of course. Well, Tim has to stream the whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
like Thursday.
Yeah, we get there Thursday. We're going to
get there on Wednesday.
Yeah. No, I don't stay. I don't do solos anymore.
I've got to set up.
I'm too old.
I'm going to stream solos. I'm going to stream solos.
Are you?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just do everything.
Sorry, Unley.
I've got too many children at home. I'm pawning them out to like separate grandparents so that one set doesn't have to look after them all. They have to do a divide and conquer. So we have to come back ASAP.
To be honest.
Yeah, they're a handful. That's all right. Yeah. Well, what's on for the week, guys? Other than rehearsals, how many rehearsals are you up to, Jade? Do you do 2 a week?
We've been doing an extra on the weekend. I think this weekend coming, we actually all right. No, we do have one. So just the 3. Yeah, 2 for Unley and 1 for Bringo if we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Concert bands don't seem to rehearse as much as brass bands. Is like a 2 a week standard for brass bands? I don't know. Is that a thing?
No, I was saying just the 3 as in that seems like a lot, doesn't it?
No,
That's
it's
just
not
half
too
my
bad.
week taken up by band. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, well,
Yeah,
we're
I
nearly
mean,
there.
it's only once a year, right? We don't do extra
Really?
rehearsals like this for states.
Oh, okay.
Never.
Never? No?
Rehearsals for states. Oh.
Boo.
What's on for your week, Robin? What's on for your week?
Yeah, just rehearsing. Oh, so this weekend is our weekend rehearsal. We're going to do like invite people I just said invite your mums. So we're having an open rehearsal. Like at the end of the rehearsal, we'll run our program. We won't do a proper concert, but like it's always a couple of people's mums come. That's nice. The ones who can't, they're not coming with us to travels and, the mums that don't like watching the stream. No offense, Tim, because, technology. And they're like, I want to hear your band play in real life. So it's like, everyone bring your mums. And we have like 5 mums, including my mum, because she has to watch my children. How about you, Tim? You've got a concert this weekend, don't you? Are you doing that?
I'm flying to New Zealand
Yeah.
on Wednesday for the New Zealand Pipe Band Championships.
You talked about that
And
last
then
week. Yeah.
I'm flying. Well, now it's happening. So that's the thing about the future. It happens. and then I'm flying back on Sunday morning, and then I've got to land at the airport, and then I've got to go to my Footscray concert because Footscray's doing a concert with Western Brass and Darabin, and we're all going to play our own choices and hymn and march.
I saw that. Footscray and Darabin are like
everyone should come.
Technically against each other, aren't they? Are you being like friendly rivals?
It's called frenemies.
Oh, frenemies. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, frenemies.
Yeah.
Guess that's why you're not playing the test piece, though. Don't want to reveal all your cards.
Exactly. We don't want to give away the test piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because what we've actually done with the test piece is we've put it all up a semitone to make it sound a bit brighter.
I know it might be the edge you need because I only once came
it's the edge
on
we
the
need,
countback, so on the test piece, so you just never know. You might need the
Every
extra
little bit helps.
half a point on that test
that
piece.
semitone.
No one will notice. They'll never know.
So it's going to be a great week.
Yeah. What a great week ahead. We'll have fun at the pipe bands.
Yeah, pipe bands.
Huh?
And then hopefully my plane isn't delayed flying back in on Sunday morning and I get to the concert. That'll be great.
Who are you flying with?
I feel like you just jinxed yourself already.
Yeah. Wait, is it Air New Zealand's all right?
Fine.
Is it other ones are not?
Air New Zealand's great.
Yeah, okay. I mean, they're not sponsoring us. They should give us money. No, I don't know.
Hello, Air New Zealand.
Hello. These AI transcripts don't write themselves. I've got to pay like $5 a month extra for my AI transcripts. Then they put the subtitles. If anyone wants to listen to the pod with subtitles, seems like a oxymoron. Like, don't you listen to a podcast because you don't want to look at something? I don't know, but it puts on subtitles if everyone wants to.
Are there
listen.
subtitles?
Yeah. Well, if you click subtitles, it'll pop up. The AI listens to our thing and then generates the subtitles. Yeah.
Can you get them to write in the gestures as well so that everyone can really enjoy the plumage?
Audio description, like
audio
feathers.
Yeah,
feathers.
the feathers.
Hand gestures to indicate fluffy feathers.
About this long. Fluffiness maximum. I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Well, Jade.
Thank you, Jade.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
That's okay. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, I guess. Whether or not this was great for you, I don't know.
We haven't talked about any pieces, wind band pieces to sing an outro.
Oh, yeah. So, Jade, at the end of every podcast, we sing part of our favourite, band piece all together, all three of us, because we don't have any outro music.
Should we do
So,
do
if you want to just
favorite? Because I know what's been in my head all week.
What's been in your head?
What's been in your head?
Is it Holst Suite in E flat?
No, it's Festival Variations.
Oh.
It's such a banger.
By Claude T. Smith.
Probably.
Claude T. Smith.
No, I told you I don't know anything about music. I warned you before this. I'm the worst bandy ever. But yes.
Can you hum it to us? Can you sing it to us?
I think I've done it, but I forget.
It's the one that's like. Oh,
yeah, that one. Come on, Robin. Robin's not singing. Rock.
I'm sure there's a crash.
This is so chaotic. This is the worst outro ever.
Crash.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.